So we will be picking up back in the hut on the edge of the Sea of the Moving Ice. You all effectively have taken your long rest. You are welcome to kind of start your day as you might care to. As far as things go, Helka would remind you that we kind of want to gather up a gift slash fish for something to give to Angajuk. And I think probably through this day, as like the morning kind of starts, she'll give you all a little bit more full of an explanation about what's going to happen here. As nobody decided to actually like call and try to rest on the ship itself, Helka is going to start off by explaining whenever we are ready to begin our trip, we can call Angajuk to this location by ringing the bell across on that pier. We'll have some time. Angajuk can hear the bell regardless of where they are in the Sea of Moving Ice. It was a creation of her masters. It would benefit us very much if we have gifts. Um, and then she'll probably take a moment with at least a little bit of an understanding about what Kansas is, but perhaps also, if you are able, you may be able to create a deeper friendship than even I am able to by giving Angajuk the gifts of food. You may be able to have the gift of friendship.
So it sounds like we need to get back to fishing then, I suppose, since we've established she doesn't want any of this meat.
Sure, let's go fishing.
What was the name of? Oh, I can't remember what the bloody name is. I've written it down so many times, I just can't find it. What was the name of the lady we're escorting?
Helka.
That was it, Helka. I mean, another note of that, probably for the fifth time, but I can never find it. But yeah, just say to Helka, what do you want to do? Do you want to fish, or do you want to keep a lookout while we fish? Either way, we've established that it's not the safest place around here.
I mean, mechanically, I'm going to throw out there, like, having a lookout doesn't really help you all at all. Like, you can't really see that far, so just go fishing. You guys are the star of the show. Like, she's just an NPC.
Sure, fair enough then.
Like, in the best of conditions, you guys can see 40 or 50 feet away from you. In the normal conditions, you're like 25 to 35, and in a blizzard, you're like 15 to 20.
Is it a blizzard now or not?
I can roll and find out. You're going to wake up in clear conditions, so you all are probably around that like 30 to 50 ish.
Hooray.
Okay. I'm gonna get an animal out of the bag of many animals.
Excellent.
See, I know what one is and I know what six is, but everything in between throws me.
Badger. So do we stick with a badger, or are badgers useful in the snow?
I mean, I think most of that is purely going to be your decision what you're looking for. What is the solution that you need to solve with the creature right now?
Nothing.
Companionship.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say a badger is useful for companionship.
All right. So Fane can go fishing, and I will try to teach the badger tricks.
All right, Faint, you can do a survival check while
Actually,
Kansas is doing nothing.
actually, I should go fishing too because the sooner we do the fishing and catch some fish, then the sooner we can go and meet. How do you spell this Ankajuk person?
I have to constantly say spelling does not matter. Go for phonetics. Angajuk is what she has said.
All right, I made some spelling up.
Hey, Kansas, it already knows a trick. At midnight, it disappears. That's the greatest trick of all.
It's like ankle juice. What?
Not sure what ankle juice is, but that sounds rough.
Ever work in A&E then? Or you call it
So
ER, don't you?
when you two are ready, you can spend your hour fishing, and let's see what happens.
All right, so I'll go fishing. Do I need to roll survival or something?
Yep, and I think that survival's from faint already.
Yep, that's right, 14.
Alrighty, so as the hour kind of passes by, you all are going to have pretty uneventful time, just sitting around the actual hole in the ice over there. Before, after a few moments, Kansas, you are going to get a bite on your string. I need you to make a dexterity, or wait, no, strength, athletics check, please. Oh, the 17 was good. That one would have been rough. So you get a great fight out of this trout. You very quickly set the hook, as the, or not trout, my bad. Still thinking about the pan-fried trout. Um, get a great fight out of this creature, and as you're kind of fishing, you're, giving a little pulling on it. It almost pulls you in. You keep yourself steadied, and after a few moments, you are able to pull out a squid. It is pretty much the size of you. As far as things go, I'm not sure you'll ever be able to turn into a squid, but I do want to remind you, when you see different beasts, you should also be recording them in that, like, far right hand side, because this is also you seeing a squid for the first time, so you can technically have at least the start of becoming a squid. Um, but you can pull that out, get it out of the water, and um, Helka will kind of look to you with a little nod of respect, and this seems quite wonderful. You've done excellent. If we are ready, that should be enough. Or if you would like to fish for more, we could certainly have a better gift to offer.
Sounds to me like maybe a bit more might be helpful, so we could keep going for a little bit longer if you like. Maybe one more thing.
Gotcha. So if you two would like to spend a little bit more time here, Helka's going to start to um, almost like bury part of the sled. Um, and Damn, I never actually thought about this. Does she leave the dogs behind? She's got to. I feel like she'll set the dogs up inside of Anga's hut and kind of prepare basically to be leaving here. But when the two of you are ready, you can do another survival check.
Ain't any really pretending to fish with that 10 because he knows that if he succeeds, he's just going to have to deal with fish again.
So I tried to add a thing, and the best I could come up with was gnome squidling.
All right, that sounds wrong. I'll take a look at it at some point. And I definitely got psyched out. Your survival was the 17. You really did roll a 1. Roll another strength check for me here.
look, I'm a gnome. What do you expect?
All right. I need a dexterity saving throw from you. All right, that's better. But I'm going to actually call for the second one because you technically don't have a squid. With that one, it's that same thing. You need a dexterity saving throw.
What, you want another one?
Yes, please. All right, good. So on each of those, you're going to set the hook. When you go to fight with the creature, it's going to pull like you into the water, and at the last moment each time, you're able to kind of catch yourself, and let the like little bit of string and bait go, as this creature is like overpowering you. But you keep yourself safe from being dragged into the water, and potentially eaten by whatever it is you're catching down below there. But when you are prepared, if you all would like to spend another hour trying to get a catch, you are most certainly welcome to. And again, this is me saying you all technically do not have a squid right now.
Oh, we don't have any fish?
No, you rolled a 1. I thought you rolled a 17 and a 1. I thought you rolled twice. I did not realize that I was looking at your survival as the strength check.
Oh. Hey, this stuff is really hard to do. Oh, wow. Can you see if you can get a fish? I'm all tired out from getting pulled through the ice here.
Oh, very funny. Because you managed to hook two things and I haven't hooked anything yet. I see how it is. All right, I'll give it another go. May the gods' blessings be upon me and my fish thing. 16.
And Kansas? And then let me get a strength athletics from Fate. Oh, that's a massive one. And a dexterity saving throw from Fate.
Excellent. Oh, crushing it.
Nice.
Alright,
Doing backflips there.
pretty much the same thing's happening. Fate's getting a catch, going to set the hook, and you get a good fight out of it before it eventually drags you like towards the water's edge. And kind of at the last moment, you're able to steady yourself, letting go of the line. But again, you all are getting good bites at this point. You just need to overpower one of these things, which also, by the way, I'm rolling stupid high on all three of those checks right now. But you are getting some level of success fishing. You're actually getting bites. So when you all are ready, you can go for another hour.
I fucking hate fish.
Helka will kind of like come up to you on, if you are not having luck with the fish, you can certainly try to be charming and see if we can gain. And she'll kind of like in a little exclamation as both of you cast out and go to pull in fish. Let me get strength checks from each of you. First will be Fate, and second will be Kansas.
Oh, I beat it by 1.
I have a +2.
Well, fuck my life.
I was thinking, I'm like, I don't know if Kansas has any strength modifier.
Uh, I have a modifier. It happens to be 0.
And I need dexterity saving throws from you both. I think thankfully, yeah, you both have pretty good decks at least, so it's a lot less likely that you're falling in afterwards. But yeah, same thing again. Like both of you cast out as Helka's trying to tell you, like there are other options. And both of you get these quick little grabs, before it starts to pull you in, and kind of in the last moments, you two are able to kind of like grab a hold of each other and brace against it, letting go of your actual lines at the last second there. It would you like to continue fishing? You're doing a great job.
We go
I'm
again.
sure you can make this happen.
How
We
many
go
fish do we
again.
need?
It would be good to have a squid or an octopus. We don't necessarily need a lot, but something would be good.
Now you have requests.
Make a strength check for me, Kansas. Oh, this is your one. This is it. This is it. Yes. So she's kind of like looking. It's not to request. Angajuk really likes squid and octopus. They are two of her favorite things to eat. So if you, yes, yes, get, and as you kind of like go to pull this thing out, like preparing for this massive fight, you're able to just like yank back real quick with your tiny little arms and a lot of motion from them, and you basically like fling this big old, I think we'll still stick with the squid idea, squid out of the water and onto the ice. And you'll see as the badger kind of like goes over to like claw at it, but this thing is probably twice the size of the badger and a little bit larger than you are, Kansas. But you do have a squid, and Helka will look to you all and maybe one is good, one, or do you want to continue for a little bit longer?
Well, it's either this or we have to be charming, and I can't be real charming, and you sure can't be charming.
Thank you. I see you're a good judge of character.
Yeah, see? That's how charming I am.
All right, fuck it. One more go.
Uh, okay, if you continue on, good luck, Kansas. You can do it. Excellent. Yeah, you got like the whisper going on there. All right, I need 11 or lower. Bam. Nope. Dexterity saving throw from you, Kansas.
Can I like run over and grab the same rod as her and try and help pull it?
No, technically you're still fishing with her. It's not really rods either. It's also just string.
We have string and we're trying to catch like a giant octopus. Going well.
Yeah, you're doing great. You already got one. So whenever we are ready, we can call Angajuk with the bell, and when they arrive, we will be able to give her the gift of the squid you do have. So we have something.
And I detect the sassy undertone.
I don't mean to be mean, but you yourself are not terribly skilled at fishing. Kansas is very good fisher, but the squids, octopus, they seem to be almost twice her size. So perhaps it's dangerous.
True, but we do have all this giant eagle and bear meat, whatever it was, wolf meat thing. So, no, I provided that. If they don't want it, it's fine. You can have this one squid. I got my skills elsewhere.
Perhaps if you put some of that on the hook, you may be able to catch an octopus like that. It might be something they have never had. It may taste a little different.
All right, one more go with bait. What'd you say, Kansas?
Sure, we can try it. I don't think our calling is to be fishermen, though.
Yeah, it
You
wasn't
want
your
to
job
go
as
one more
fisherman.
time?
Yeah, fuck it. One last time. What's the worst that can happen? We get pulled under?
And what are you putting on for bait?
Wolf?
I'll put on some of the giant eagle.
Gotcha. I mean, it doesn't matter for Kansas, but both of you can have advantage with that go. So, Kansas, you'll do a strength. or in athletics rather. And feint even with advantage. You're just gonna kind of sit there and watch as Kansas gets once again another fish. Meets beats. Kansas is gonna struggle with it, taking quite a long time. It's gonna be a great fight before eventually you're able to pull it out of the water. And another squid.
All right,
Squid.
that's it. That's what we can have. They should be happy with this, right?
I believe yes, Angajuk should be very happy with these gifts. You've done a wonderful job. Um, I will ring the bell and we will call Angajuk here and see them very shortly. Um, please, if you feel the need to discuss what we are doing, we are buying oil. If you have to distinguish what kind of oil, let's call it, and she does like the air quotes, seal oil.
Wait a minute. Are we not buying actual oil?
No, we're buying whale oil. Angajuk is a whale.
Oh
Wait, we're
shit, fair
buying
enough.
whale oil from a whale?
Well, no, Angajuk is my vessel. You'll see shortly here. And she's gonna go over to the brass bell, and as she rings it, that whole like large monolith of ice that kind of stands out is going to ring with the brass of this bell, and you're going to see as like little shards of ice start to like kind of fall off of it as it's basically resonating through this whole pillar, and it'll kind of like send a little bit of like a weird shiver through you all, but you have a pretty good idea that um this bell is not simply just brass ringing. And like she said, like regardless of where Angajuk is, when she rings the bell, she's going to hear it. But she will ring the bell. Let me have each of you roll a d6 here. Solid. Y'all tried, but as a little bit of more time is going to pass by, Helka will explain to you all. Please, just when we meet Angajuk, try to be as kind and keep to your manners as possible. Don't threaten the whale if you can avoid it. It's a very friendly creature for what it is. Um, and about half hour, 40 minutes later, you all are going to see as a gigantic kind of spear is going to come up out of the water, and then you'll see the bow of a vessel, and right below the vessel you're going to see this big gray blue kind of rounded um, flesh kind of come out of that ice before the whale is going to set down its chin kind of like right at its jaw out of the water, and basically it is looking one eye towards the bell, and then one eye kind of southeast towards the actual hut. Um, where are y'all standing right now while you were fishing?
Well, after we finished fishing, we backed up from the edge.
Yeah, I'd have thought when we were fishing we would be like here, but I definitely would have thought we would have come over here when we were ringing the bell.
Over here being,
Sorry, I was pinging on the map. Where
yeah,
our
but like
tokens
you've
are.
got miniatures. Throw your miniatures over there.
Yeah, so where the miniature is now is kind of roughly where I'd say we got back to, and
Gotcha.
then
Back to the hut.
yeah,
So when you all see this, you're going to see Angajuk is just like with that one eye kind of scanning you all. And Helka's going to kind of like move towards the squid and kind of like with a hand, like kind of wave it towards Kansas. And you're just going to hear a very slow, deep voice. Anga. Anga. And who are you? Where is Anga?
Um, hello, my name's Faint. We we brought squid.
Oh, faint. Where is anger?
I thought you would be Angar. What's your name? Sorry.
Angajuk.
Oh, hello, Angajuk. You're the one we were looking for. Who's Anger?
Anger is my friend. Where is anger?
I just turn to Helka and I say quietly, "Hey, what the fuck is going on?"
Helka is going to continue to motion towards the squid and kind of with her hand, Kansas. She's throwing like you under the bus. Give Angajuk the squid.
All right, so I'll walk forward and take the squid and kind of hold it out in my arms.
Throw it in the water.
All right, I'll throw it in the water.
Oh, little one. And as you hold it out in your arms, the whale's actually going to kind of stick out its tongue, and very gently, it is going to pretty much lick your entire body as it takes the squid from you. Um, as again, you are about half the size of the squid itself. Um, Little kind of weird feeling for sure. This thing's strength is massive. Its tongue, probably about 4 to 5 times your size. This is a gigantic creature. Um, but it's also perhaps Kansas's first time seeing a sperm whale. It's definitely a beautiful creature, and it seems to have a vessel on its back. So there's something very supernatural about this. And it will kind of like staring down at you with its eye as it moves its like mouth away from you, kind of very close to Kansas. It will look you over and thank you, little one. Have you seen Inga?
I have no idea who you're talking about. Could you describe this creature?
They are my friend. They would ring that bell to tell me to come. They lived often in that snow you walked from. Inga was my friend. Inga made me smart.
Helga? Do you have any idea about this?
I'm guessing that's whose hut it was.
Halka will kind of move forward and kind of very slowly approaching the whale. You may not remember me, but we have met before, my friend. I have not seen Enga then, nor have I seen Enga now. Perhaps your friend is on a great journey and will return for you at some point. Let me get an intelligence from, or wisdom from all of you, both of you.
13.
Humans don't live that long. Sperm whales live a long ass time. It may entirely be possible that this creature has outlived its master. And Helka's just going to kind of continue on, like, perhaps your friend is on a great journey and will come back some other time. But I do remember you like treats, and we have brought you even more gifts. And again, Helka will kind of like step up to Kansas and like motion for you to give it the other squid.
Okay, so I'll take the other squid and toss it at the whale.
I'm just gonna like throw it at its eye.
No, like towards its mouth, hoping it doesn't lick me again. Very undignified, just because I'm small.
Do you want to say anything to it while you're doing this?
Um,
Like open wide?
Here's another squid for you, oh great one.
I'll kind of like look down a little bit at you and open up its mouth so you can throw the squid inside of it. Thank you. If you have called me, how can I help you? And Helka will kind of continue the conversation, basically talking about, I understand you can swim beneath the eyes of those things which fly overhead, and you can take us safely to where we need to go on the Sea of Moving Ice. I have friends who have some seal oil that I need to purchase, and I was hoping that you would be able to escort us there and then return us here afterwards. We will not be much longer than a few days, if you would be so kind, and perhaps if you need anything else, we could do that of service. But if you would be so kind, we were hoping to use you to ferry us between these locations in your great sea. And conversation will kind of continue on, but you'll see as um, Angajuk basically kind of like goes back under in a way as to basically present that vessel on top of the actual ice itself. And you all are basically kind of invited on board. Helka will kind of climb up one of the ropes, almost using it like a ladder, before climbing onto the actual ship.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go then. Hope there's enough air in that thing.
This should be interesting.
You guys don't actually see the bubble yet. It's not underwater.
Okay, fair enough. As I'm just climbing up, I
So
say, "Thank you very much, Angajuk, my friend. You're a good whale."
We
yeah,
appreciate what you're going to do with us.
let me get a wisdom saving throw from both of you. Yeah, Faint's definitely going to panic, noticing the fact that this is a creature that is apparently going to swim under the ice in a boat that's supposed to float on top of the ice. Kansas is just like, yeah, fuck it. This is probably going to be cool as hell. And kind of just goes along with this. Faint, let me get you to roll. My bad. Taking me a little longer to find this table.
It's all right. It's all good. Just got my sheet up ready.
D100, please.
Oh, okay.
My bad. I was reasonably sure it was going to be a D100, and also
Yeah, no.
follow suit with the D10 afterward. So, all right, that's not bad. For the next minute, which also makes sense because you're about to dive under and see that it is perfectly fine. For the next minute, Faint is about to just start babbling, and is basically incapable of normal speech or spell casting. I don't think either of those really matter. But Faint, you're probably babbling about like basically while everybody is calmly standing on top of the ship, which is effectively like we're going for Helka in Kansas at this point. They're like just going on with a normal conversation, like actually speaking with Angajuk, and you're just sitting there like, does nobody realize we need air to breathe? Like nobody, we need air like to breathe, not water. Water will freeze, and you can't like air you breathe through your lungs. And as this kind of goes on, Angajuk is just going to slowly lower into the water, and as the sides of the ship go underwater and the whale kind of slides back in and underneath, that bubble is going to form around the outer edges of the ship. And you're going to have this fresh air that is still icy cold, like everything else in Icewind Dale. And over the next kind of like 15 or 20 minutes, there's different points where Angajuk actually like exhales into the bubble, and kind of like is using like its blowhole basically to bring in air, exhaling air. Um, but it kind of adds a little bit of a putrid smell, as you're kind of getting air from within the creature itself. Uh, and its actual innards. I guess really it doesn't necessarily have to be putrid, but I'm going for the fact that it smells like ambergris. Um, and the whale kind of like brings in, exhales. Eventually, Faint's going to come back too, but you all are going to be underneath the water. In general, it's pretty clear. You can see pretty far when you're near the surface. The deeper Angajuk swims, the more the light kind of is dissipating because, again, it really is still just this like dim light of the aurora overhead that is giving you all any sort of view underneath here. But when you're kind of paying attention to things, you can see like this whole new world underneath the water. And between Angajuk and Helka, at different times. There's different levels of explanations. Angajuk will kind of share every about like hour and a half or so. Angajuk does like surface to kind of like fill up like a little bit of its lungs from its blowhole. Uh, feel like it's kind of set up so it can do that without surfacing the ship. But basically, it kind of like refills the oxygen like that and then goes back under. And while it's kind of taking these little breather breaks, it is able to kind of share that Anga used to use this ship as a way to explore the ocean beneath the sea. Kansas, let me get a wisdom from you, and you can have advantage with this one. The more Angajuk describes her traveling companion, the more it confirms to you over and over again that Angajuk was a Enga was a druid, and Angajuk is simply just a sperm whale that Angajuk used Awaken on to turn into an intelligent creature. But you all will have this voyage over the next few hours. Let me have each of you roll a d6 here.
Yeah.
Over the next few hours, you all are going to kind of pass through a bunch of different areas where there's cool sights of like massive schools of fish, incredible like reefs. Can't actually see the color underneath here, but like actual like coral reefs. There's a lot of really cool spots where you're able to be taken as you're swimming to this location where Helka intends to have your little meet. As time is going to progress, you all are going to have these few different stops where Anga refills to get some more oxygen for you. But overall, the journey is going to go pretty well. After quite a few hours, vaguely towards when you all would expect the rime to kind of give way into the rising of the moon, you all will arrive on the island where Helka intends to meet their friends. And Helka basically will share with you all. Let me have a perception from you, actually. Let me get a perception from both of you.
Oh, did I get a +4 to perception? Still shit though. 10.
I perceive
Uh,
we are under the ice, and it is cold.
oh, my bad. That's actually part of why I actually do the idea that it smells really bad, like the ambergris, is once you're actually inside of the bubble, when Angajuk is breathing that actual air effectively with you all, it's one of the warmest places you'll ever actually be inside of Icewind Dale because you no longer have wind chill and you have this gigantic whale that is actually heating the air itself. So inside, underwater, you guys are incredibly comfortable. At some point in the journey, you will be warned not to like stick anything outside of the bubble itself, because it is effectively like a one-way force field. If you go outside, you can't really come back in. But it is kind of like that level of you all have one of the hottest locations that you'll ever really get in Icewind Dale while you are riding around with Angajuk. But when you arrive at the island, you all will see that there is another ship that is kind of docked across the island on the western side, and Helka can kind of notify you all. You all will basically like be on this eastern side, and Helka can basically share with you all like that should be the people that we are meeting. If you all are ready, we can make our negotiations by night here and see how much we are able to accomplish.
Alright, sure, sounds good. I feel in the right frame of mind after that completely unharrowing experience.
We're still alive. Can't have been all bad.
So she'll head on over to the other boat with a torch lit, and let me get a perception from Faint here.
24.
You'll notice that the way she's signaling, like with the actual fire, is kind of like a long distance, effectively visual thieves' cant. I usually go with the idea that thieves' cant is kind of like a hobo language, where it's more like hieroglyphs. But I like the idea that there's also basically like a function of um, SOS comes to mind. Can't believe I can't think of the actual
Morse code.
yeah, Morse code, where effectively you notice that Helka is kind of like waving this torch almost behind, say, like her shield or something to kind of block the light. And she's kind of flashing it like that as she's approaching towards the vessel on the other side of this island. But as you kind of like watch this, you basically see that she's signaling um, something to the effect of friendly business. And then I'm gonna have something creative for the third idea. But basically to tell this actual crew, like she's not a threat. and she's here for a prearranged business meeting kind of thing.
So when do we start negotiation with these people? Right away, or is it niceties first?
In the long run, you are welcome to kind of approach the situation as you would. I feel like some level of the niceties are going to happen just in Helka kind of approaching and kind of calming the initial situation. But depending on how you all would like to negotiate, you are more than welcome to approach the situation and do your thing.
All right, got it. So I just walk over then. I'm sure you come along as well, Kansas.
Oh yeah, I'll come along and watch you establish a firm trading relationship.
I've got brimming charisma, so this will be fine. So as we walk over, I just sort of not bow, but just give a deep nod. Greetings, my name's Fate.
Greetings, Faint. It's a pleasure to meet you. Good to see you as well, Helka. And you there, what is your name, friend? Are you just ignoring him, Kansas?
She says, hello, my name's Kansas. Uh,
It's a pleasure, Kansas. You have a quite delightful voice. There are few things that make my heart as warm as hearing your name. I am Chamberlain, and he'll kind of do like the very similar nod to Faint.
it's a pleasure to meet you, Chamberlain.
We understand that your Helka here would like to purchase some oil, and that you all as well are interested in gaining some of our wares. Have you brought coin? What would you like to trade? How much are you looking to buy?
That's very true. I believe that Helga here was looking to make a purchase herself, and then we, as her bodyguards and protectors for the journey here, um, we ourselves have become interested in your business after she's told us about it, and we too would be interested in purchasing some of your fine oil. We have a combination of gold and also some valuable items we'd like to exchange. Just an aside as well, I know we talked about what we were going to have, but I know that Zaps was carrying some of the tradable items, so I don't know. I can't see his sheet, so I don't know what he had to offer. I just remember that I've got like the scrimshaw and one second.
We
What
had
was it?
some jewels we were handing over.
Yeah, it's got some. I've got some tourmaline. I've got 56 gold's worth of tourmaline or tourmaline, and a scrimshaw goat worth 25 gold. And then Zaps had something, and then you had some things as well, didn't you?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
So I was asking Kansas, sorry, have you got anything on your sheet that was tradable? I was just listing off what I've got.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what we said in our discussion, you see.
Right, I was just being general. Um, the Scrimshander 49, Topaz 60. That was that's the value in gold pieces of what I'm holding.
Looks like Zaps has the 340 gold diamond. I don't see anything else on his character sheet.
Fair enough then. And I think we discovered that it was going to take a long time for you to be able to do revive, didn't we, Kansas? So it wasn't really that valuable to us anymore.
Right, we don't need to keep it.
Yeah, I think Kansas will gain access to reincarnate at like ninth level. Might be 10th, but I think it's ninth.
Yeah, it should take us a long time to get to.
Probably frozen to death before then.
Seems likely, or just murdered by a wild raving animal.
Stampeded by
Oh,
the giant elk.
reincarnate's fucking awesome though, because it makes a random race out of you.
You just come back as something else.
Yeah, it creates a whole new body for you.
That's pretty cool.
So, what do you all have in mind? What would you like to try to negotiate here? As you kind of say, you've got gold and some other things, they'll instruct to you each barrel of oil is 25 gold pieces, or depending on what you have to trade, we can certainly negotiate a price for these other objects that you may have.
All right, so I have 109 equivalent, so that's 4 barrels, right?
This is
Yep.
why I said to you all, though, gold is gold. Everything else you have to negotiate for. So that there is a value set for these items is a vague idea of what you can get. If you all have to sell something on the spot, it could be worth 40% less than what it's valued at. If you have to sell something over like 3 or 4 weeks, you might get 40% more than it's valued at. But that's the thing with everything that is a trade item, its value is just for the mechanics of knowing what it might go for. It has nothing to do with what you're going to get for it when you go to trade it.
Well, I
Like
happen to have.
effectively, that's why I say like 40% either direction is to say there's a massive swing in every single item when you go to trade it.
Josh, you want to try and bargain for something?
Sure. So all I'm going to say is, well, I happen to have 7 tourmaline gens here, which are quite valuable and quite useful on these parts. So I was wondering if perhaps I think a fair trade would be 6 of these tourmaline lumps for 2 of your fine barrels.
Roll of persuasion, and what are the tourmalines valued at?
Just checking that 1 second. So persuasion's a 4.
I have a -2 in persuasion, so it's not like I would have done any better.
Yeah, so we could have done with Zaps. But yeah, let me just double check.
I think he's in the same boat. Oh yeah, his modifier is a +1. You guys are not conversationalists.
No, so they're valued at 8 gold apiece, so 48 gold effectively for the 6, which is exactly what 2 barrels would cost. Again, I know and understand the trade is different, but on paper.
And what else do you all have? What else are you trying to negotiate for?
Well, I was going to see how that goes first before I carry on.
I could give you 1 barrel at best for those.
One?
Well, then I don't think that's quite worth the value of the Termine, so instead I can offer you for 1 barrel a nice scrimshaw carving here, I believe it's a goat.
What's Scrimshaw valued at?
25 gold for this 1 scrimshaw goat.
Make another persuasion check.
A natural 1.
God, they're gonna kill us.
This is penance for me rolling well last week, which I deliberately didn't mention because I didn't want to curse myself, but I guess it was just a one-time high.
That goat is not worth a barrel. All of your gems and your goat might be worth 2 barrels.
Well, I was thinking it was definitely worth 3, but Kansas, what have you got, story?
Tell me what you have to trade, and let's negotiate for a trade, rather than pretending this is piecemeal. What do you all bring to the table? What would you like to buy, and how much gold do you have to trade?
So, I'll take Faint aside and say, do we actually want to trade gold? What are we doing here? I've got these 4 topazes. They're worth 60, and the scrimshaw that's supposed to be 49, but who likes scrimshaw anyway?
I think you should offer. I'll just burn mine. Oh, by the way, do we get a long rest in at any point? Because I haven't taken one in a while. I think we got
Yeah, you
one.
guys started this with a long rest.
Yes, finished. So I'll do that in a second, but I'll just burn my psychic whispers thing for the day, my free one, and I'll just connect with Kansas just so we can talk privately. And I'll say, perhaps with what you've got there, maybe offer it all for 4 barrels, um, and then if they wriggle, we can top it up with a bit of gold, so like an extra 10 gold maybe, because I think that might be a fair trade. We say, right, okay, all of what you've got there, you said it's worth 109 gold, roughly finger in the wind, and then if they say whatever, no, because you get bad roll, whatever, then we'll say, all right, then that and 10 gold for 4 barrels is the offer.
Oh, great one. We're very interested in exchanging some of what we have for this oil that you don't really need anyway. We have these 4 lovely, lovely topazes and this scrimshander, which I know you treasure, and we think it is worth 4 barrels of oil.
Roll a persuasion.
Nice natural 20,
And
although you
what are
got
the
nice.
topazes valued at?
They're 15 each, so 60 total.
The total value of what you've got is 109 gold, isn't it? So
Yeah. And that's the most persuasive I've ever been.
yeah, so it is like
And you're not
5 gold.
trading the carnelians?
hold on.
They're like below your topazes in your backpack.
Oh yeah, we have carnelians. They're like down in a different section, so I didn't see them. Sure, I'll offer the carnelians as well. They're worth 45 gold. Oh, also I have this rhodochrosite. What the hell? That's also worth 45.
So another 4 barrels then, because that comes to like another 90 gold, which would be 200 gold, well, 199 gold in total. So
Yeah,
that
yeah, that's total of 8 barrels worth of oil there.
And you have no coin that you would like to buy barrels. Everything you have is these gems in the scrimshaw.
Well, we think it's plenty. Wait, what were you throwing in? Because I've got the topaz, the rhodochrosite, the carnelian, and the scrimgender that I was holding is worth 200. So don't you have like also some of this?
well, I was saying to you, whispers wise, but basically what you've got's worth 200, well, just over. So if you say 8 barrels for that, that's a good deal. That's not pushing it too far because I got a bad roll to start off with, so I figured we'd just offer a fair deal and all that. And then if they reject it for whatever reason, is that I've got 50 gold, so I could top it up, offer a sweetener. And then worst case scenario, if they still don't accept like an extra 20 gold, then I'd say, all right, well then I've also got all this owlbear meat, and you can have it and enjoy it.
We will give you 9 barrels for all of your rhodochrosite, all of your carnelians, all of your topazes, all of your tourmaline, as well as both of your scrimshaw objects.
Faint. 9 sounds decent. It's more than what we had. It's not like we need carnelian.
And again, same through whispers. Yeah, you might have a good point. I mean, we're negative on it. We lose out effectively on that trade, but I mean, we've then got oil that we can apparently sell quite quickly. If this Helka's true and what she's saying about she's got a buyer, then we can flip and start an enterprise effectively transition with. So we could just take the gamble and go for it and accept it, and then just get out of here. But it depends what the return is, but we don't know what the return is that Helka's offering. So I'd say at this point, yeah, let's just go for it. Let's
That would
gamble.
be a lovely, lovely agreement, and we enjoy being able to trade with you.
So this person's going to collect all of those things from you all, and they'll kind of like wave their hand as kind of the ship comes alive, and you'll see as they start to roll off these barrels and start to stack. What is that? 21 total barrels on the ice for you all, before these whalers return to their ship and are going to sail off. And you all have 9 barrels for yourselves.
Great.
Yes, that's not too bad. So Helka, how many did you get? 12.
Yes, indeed, I did.
Very good. Just trying to do a bit of inventory, that's all. Wondering how we'll be able to transport. I got the sled with the dogs, actually. Ignore me. Let me just update my. I keep a mental tally of my inventory. I'm just going to update that now. Just out of interest, how much do you expect to get for each of these barrels?
The barrel should be worth approximately 50 gold inside of Bryn Shindar.
Yeah, it's not too bad then, I suppose. I guess we all see a bit of a profit on that. So that between what your fee is, I guess it's not too bad, eh, Kansas?
Yeah, it's pretty good actually.
It'll keep us in gear to keep us alive for the future battles, I suppose. Maybe we can treat ourselves to uh, what what do you like? Animals and plants and shit. Maybe we get you a really nice plant that you can do battle with.
Ooh, a cactus. Cactus would be nice. I bet they've never seen those up here. Those are for hot weather.
And I bet they've never sold one here either.
So you all can prepare to load everything onto Angajuk, taking the next hour or so to roll all of these barrels onto the ship. And when you are prepared, head back off into the sea, where Angajuk can continue back towards the Enga's hut. And you all are welcome to take a long rest. Would anybody like to watch, or are you effectively just going to sleep on the ship?
I think we may as well just sleep on the ship.
Quite comfortable.
There's not going to be much we can do anyway, and also the whale, I'm sure, would make some form of noise if if something was happening.
Sounds good to you, Kansas?
Yes.
Alrighty. So when you all are good, you can take a long rest here. And we will pick up with you all the next morning as Angajuk will drop you all back off at the hut. You can take the time to unload all of the barrels, and Angajuk will wish you all farewell and see you the next time that you may cross paths.
Goodbye, Angajuk. Thank you very much, my friend. Hopefully, see you again, and I'll bring you more food. Well, we'll bring you more food next time as well.
It was very nice to meet you. Oh, great whale.
It was good to speak to you.
I feel like he's got the same intelligence as me.
I think the whale is probably more intelligent than you.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, yeah. The whale is 11 intelligence. Once they're
Damn.
awakened, I think it's 10 or 11.
A lot more intelligent than me then. Almost double.
You can't be that stupid.
What's
7.
that? So back at the hut, you all can prepare everything on the dogs. Do you have any thoughts with your barrels? What would you all like to do?
Well, once we've loaded them up, I think we should try and cover them. Maybe if we use the pelts that we got from killing those snow animal things, can't remember what they were now, like big tiger things. If we just cover them basically, so that not just so that they're extra secure on the sled, but also to try and like keep them hidden, just in case any anybody sees us at any point on the journey and is like, oh, what's that? So yeah, try and cover them if we can, and then lash that with a rope.
It's good that your murder hoboism has at least some results because you guys are paranoid as fuck.
It's D&D, man. I gotta be paranoid at all times.
Like everywhere I go, I murder people. So clearly, there's people who everywhere I go are trying to murder me as well.
It usually ends up that way.
Don't murder people who are trying to give up. Then
Hey, I specifically didn't. I even said not to kill the mage.
It seemed like a good idea to take out the mage. Not anybody else, but the mage.
Yeah, I shouted, what's it called? Effectively do a non-lethal attack on her as well. I was shouting. And
I
then
think
yeah,
Faint has the right idea though, where somebody who is the magic user is also probably the leader of any group of bandit.
yeah. So I figured that was the case, and also I knew that Zaps was stunned, so I wanted to try and break concentration as well.
So when you all are prepared, let me get survivals realistically just from both of you right now.
Why is that stealth? It shouldn't be stealth. So I want to check my survival stat. It's obviously not +10. It's
Survival
+1.
+1.
So
Gotcha.
yes, so 5.
Um, in the long run though, Kansas's survival is solid there with that roll. Passing on through the initial part of this day, you all are going to have a pretty seamless travel through the day. Let's see this. Let me get you each to roll a d6, please.
What's your dexterity? You have a +10 in stealth?
Yeah, but to bear in mind I'm also a rogue, so I get stealth bonuses. But I'll tell you one sec. I think
Yeah, it's also probably double proficiency.
yeah, it's double proficiency, and my dexterity is 18.
All right.
Plus I'm a wood elf. I don't know if that affects it or not.
I don't know, but like you're walking through the blizzard and no one can tell you're there. But then again, if they're 50 feet away, they couldn't tell you're there either.
Yeah, my wood elf thing means that I can hide like super easily with Mask of the Wild. It's like crazy easy to stealth with that. And like whenever there's a blizzard, it basically means I can use my ability to just instantly hide.
I mean, it's quite literally when you're outside here, because it says snowing. When it's snowing here, you can hide. It is always snowing.
Which is nice, which is a good thing to have here, I guess.
The blizzard is just heavy snow.
Even better. Oh my god.
And even when it's not snowing here, there's still snow blowing because of the wind. It's quite literally like that is an aspect that is always a part of Icewind Dale. The only time that you can't just hide here is effectively being inside.
Yeah, plus it's usually dark or very dark, so that helps as well, I think.
Yeah, dim light effectively is lightly obscured. So your first day's travel is going to be pretty easy. When you all are prepared to sleep, what do you all have in mind for keeping watch?
Why don't you sit up top on top of them barrels, Kansas, and see what you can see up there, and I'll just sit up front with Elka, and then just keep eye from here.
All right.
You'll watch the backwards and the sides. I'll watch the sides and forwards.
Well, I think we're supposed to get some rest, though.
Do you want to
Yeah.
not sleep and continue on?
Oh, sorry, is that what you're talking about? Oh, my bad. Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about keeping watch on the sled. That's how paranoid I am.
Yeah, again, you guys can only see 50 feet. You don't really have to like keep watch when you're actually awake. Is somebody going to stay up? Like, this is not a place where standing on top of the barrels at 2 feet tall, Kansas sees any further than you do. She's still looking into a blizzard, like into just a wall of snow.
Yeah, just figured a minute she could see backwards a bit more easily. But okay, for the rest then, let's say uh, well, I guess we can't cheese it and say our companion who's not here is involved in it. So let's just say if you want to watch for the first 2 hours, Jamie, and I'll then you go to bed, and then I'll once I finish my 4 hour meditation, I'll keep watch for the rest of it. which means there'll be a 2 hour blind spot from hour 3 and hour 4. But I think your badger would still be around for some of that, so we could effectively say that that would chirp if something happened.
Well, I could do the first 4 hours while you're doing your meditation bit.
But then
Elves
that
are
means
cheaters. He can actually get a full night's sleep by resting for 4 hours. So take your 2 hours, Kansas. Let me get your rolls. You guys can have Zaps do the middle two, and then you can have Faint finish with the last four.
So you want two survivals off us?
Just from you, perception checks. All right, we're doing those first two. It doesn't actually, you don't have a difference between your survival or your perception.
I'm perceiving that it's tough to survive out here because it's cold.
Let me have you roll a d8. So, while you are on watch, your first hour is going to go by rather seamlessly. The second hour is going to seem pretty quiet, nice and easy. There's going to be a point where the wind starts to pick up, the snow starts to pick up, and you can't see quite as far. But you're struggling with it, and things are going pretty well. You're pretty confident that you have at least enough of an experience of how things go here to be kind of ready for the worst that might come about. And as time does progress by, there's going to be a moment where you and the bear are going to kind of stand attending to like the same kind of area right around your camp, where in just a moment, something is definitely wrong. You and it are reacting at the same moment, and there's something ahead of you. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna kick Faint. Wake up! Something's going on.
of course there is. What do you think it is?
I don't know. It's snowing. Something weird is gonna happen though. I think we might get attacked. We have lots of oil. They probably want it.
Well, it's probably just some kind of animal, to be honest with you. I climb up on top of the barrels on the sled. Before I do so, I kick Helka and say, "All right, oh, you wake up. I think there's something here." Let's climb on top of the barrels just to be ready in case anything's happening. Then I'm just, what direction did you hear it from, Kansas?
I'll point.
She hears them in that direction.
Can I hear it now too? What does it sound like?
You can roll a perception check.
Okay, a second. 14.
As you take a moment to kind of look off and try to listen in that direction, you hear the roar of the wind. You don't see anything that seems to be particularly interesting.
What did it sound like, Kansas? All I hear is wind.
I don't know. I just felt really uneasy, and then the bear perked up too. So there was definitely something out there.
Well, I'd say be quiet, but it's probably smelt us at this point, whatever it is.
So y'all are just standing on guard, preparing for whatever this is to basically walk into your camp.
Well, I don't have to draw my weapon, so I'm ready. But Kansas, you got anything you want to do? Maybe you want to hop on up as well?
Sure, I will try and pull something else out of the bag, and maybe it'll be like more scary.
I could get to some cover. All right, maybe get on the front of the sled. We might need to start riding quite quickly.
Ooh, well, that's a thing. All right, Boar, and I will say, you attack what I attack, keep me safe, and then I'll change into a wolf and hope this works.
So, assuming that is your sled, and kind of like the general camp, place yourselves on the map.
I don't think it really matters, but which end's the front of the sled?
I don't know why it would matter. Pick an end, and that's the front of the sled. Jamie, which side are the creatures coming from?
Oh, I get to say? The side I'm on.
I'll burn another psychic whispers, and I'll so that I'm linked with Kansas and Helka, just in case we need to tell her to ride off, and then so we can keep in contact with her. But
What's the
Yeah,
action
I know.
economy on burning your psychic whispers?
um, oh, it's an action, but is that going to take up a? We say
Yep,
we're in.
you're cut off on doing other actions at this point. You guys are about to start combat.
I won't bother.
You're welcome to start combat with doing that, but yeah, when I was asking that final question that you guys were defending here, that was when it was decided that this was going to happen. Can you guys roll initiative? Select your counters and roll initiative.
Wait, sorry.
Damn it, I thought I selected it.
All right, I don't know the best way to do this with a reduced group, so I'm going to show you all the full encounter, and we're going to decide that the two of you are fighting two of these guys.
Are those orcs?
For now, you still don't even really see them, so at present, it doesn't really matter whether they are orcs or not.
What's the weather doing?
You guys are in a blizzard.
Excellent.
And it's going to start with Kansas. So I think at this point you see these 5 humanoids who are approaching from the east, and this is kind of like the initial moment where they start to actually, like, you start to see, just in like the little bit of moonlight that there is, that these figures are just kind of wandering towards you at this point. What would Kansas like to do?
Do they look hostile?
Do you
They
want to
might
attack
not.
them?
Well, okay, so I can tell that there's more of them than there are of us.
There's
And
technically 5 of you all here, and a bunch of dogs.
so do they look hostile or not?
Do you want to attack them or not? I've given you the description. They are wandering towards you. That's what you've got right now. That's
They're
what
just
you
kind of
see. There
all
is a
right, so
blizzard happening around you. These figures look vaguely humanoid, and they are wandering towards you.
I'm gonna hold my action then and see if they do anything more attackish like.
So if somebody attacks you, you're going to do what?
Bite.
As a gnome, you're going to bite?
No, I switched into being a wolf. I said that.
When did you say that?
She did.
I pulled a boar out of the bag and then I said I switched into a wolf. I didn't change my picture though.
All right, I didn't really catch that one, but I feel like 3 actions is kind of pushing things there, but we'll let you go with that for now.
That's
Um,
2 actions.
you woke up faint, action 1, pulled the
Ah, okay.
boar, action 2, and action 3 is turning into the wolf.
Okay, or that can be
That's
my action right now is turning into the wolf. Does that make sense?
You
It's
can
fine.
go for that and you can hold it, but I did not hear you say that. That is my bad, but I'm not necessarily surprised. But that's a lot for me trying to give you like an action or 2 is when you actually notice something happening instead of like we would like 7 hours before the encounter happens.
All right. So
Just
we will say that my action for this turn is to change into a wolf. But the boar is already out there.
nope, you can 100% have it like that, Jamie. You have your holding an action. If something attacks you, you can return the attack from wolf form.
Okay.
Uh, this humanoid is going to walk forward, and as they get within view of the 2 of you, you are going to see this is, let's see. This is an entirely naked man wearing no clothing at all. He has a axe and weapons on his person, and as he kind of just stumbles forward through the blizzard, you're going to see that there are like chunks of this dark black substance that seems to be stabbed into his flesh. And as he moves forward, he is going to swing out 3 times. Um, it's going to go for the first one on the boar. What's the AC on the boar? He's got a 12 to hit.
Boar is 11. Uh-oh.
And how many hit points does it have? It's going to
Also
do
11.
7 there. And it will be poisoned unless you can do a constitution with it. What's its constitution modifier?
+1.
Gotcha. So roll a d20. You need a 12 to succeed. But that's actually, I think it's an auto kill there with that second hit. So with the second hit, he's going to hit it, and then he is going to move forward and he will attack the wolf, and then you can respond and attack him back as he attacks you. He is going to do 8 bludgeoning damage to your wolf form, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as well. DC 13. So you are not poisoned, but you can bite back at him.
So is the boar down, dead?
Yeah, the boar is dead.
Does it still count for pack tactics though?
It does not, because it's dead. It's not a threat, because it's dead. It actually doesn't exist, because it's dead. That is going to miss him, as you kind of like grasp down on some of his flesh, and there's like nothing there but ice, and you just slip right off of him. And that will take us to Feint.
All right, so because it's blizzarding, I'll get disadvantage on range attacks here.
Indeed.
All right, I'll move up to him then, and I'll take my first attack in melee. So 18 to hit, and if it does, it's a total of 20, so 10 psychic and 10 sneak. Is he dead? I'm guessing not.
It doesn't even look wounded in the least bit.
Brilliant. I'll attack him again. For an 18 to hit again for 7 psychic damage. And that will end my turn. I'll just say, Elka, stay in.
The next is going to charge forward, and he is going to swing out at Kansas. Actually, I think he's going to do 2 attacks on Kansas and then 1 on Feint. And he is actually going to scream. Oh, wait a second. He is going to just scream out loud as he runs forward to you all, swinging. So, first one on Kansas, crit. Second one on Kansas, and then the last on Feint. Kansas, 15 AC or lower. I feel like I've got you at 13. Oh, wait a second. You're also wolf form.
Yeah, 13 as a wolf. Yep.
Gotcha. So the crit on you, all of those should hit both of you. The crit is going to do 7 more bludgeoning damage. How many hit points does the wolf have left? And then another 4, so a total of 11 from this guy. And then the last one that was on Feint is going to do 9 bludgeoning to Feint. And I need 2 cons from Kansas and a con from Faint.
All right. Yeah. The wolf, like I guess vanished. It had 11 hit points.
Gotcha. So I think that last hit would have been on Kansas, but how much damage? It had 11 total.
Yeah, it had 11 total. I was taking it
So I
off.
did 5 the first time. Wait. Yeah, I think I did 5 the first. No, I did 8 with the first one, so you would have had 3. And then 7 more would have been 15, so you should have lost 4 from Kansas. And then 4 more. So you should be missing 8 hit points from Kansas.
Well, before you do that, Kansas, don't forget as well, you get 10 temporary hit points every day. Just
Yeah.
make sure you add that.
Yeah, my numbers are messed up here. So max is 33. That's including the temporary. So right now I should have
Wait, no, no,
20.
no. Your max should be 33 before the temporary hit points.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
So you should be at 2 temporary hit points here as Kansas.
Okay. It won't let me show that. It won't let me show that.
Just click your HP and then add 2 temporary hit points if you didn't have any added already. Or if you do have them already,
I
just add
did.
8 damage. Just deal 8 damage to yourself then, and it automatically reduce your temporary hit points down to 2.
No, it didn't, but uh actually I don't know what the hell I did. Fine, I'll just deal with that. It's 8. I've got 8 damage. Great.
And then it's on you, Kansas. What would you like to do?
All right, so I will do a dual attack with the scimitars of death. That'll work, right?
Most certainly. Who are you attacking?
The thing that's to the direct next of me, to the direct right, like east, east.
Excellent. 2 solid hits on it.
These must be cultists. And that's
Anything else from you?
no, that's what I can do, right? I can do 2 regular actions. So I'll yell that these must be cultists, and that's it.
You got a bonus as well, haven't you?
What bonus?
You got a bonus action because when you attack twice, you should have a bonus after.
I believe her bonus action is that second swing with the scimitar.
Yeah,
Oh,
bonus
okay,
is
got it.
2 weapon fighting.
Okay, got it. Understood.
All right. Next one's going to yell out as he screams. He's going to swing 2 attacks at Kansas and then 1 attack at Faint. So first at Kansas, second at Kansas, and the last at Faint. So that will miss Faint, but the other 2 will sink into Kansas. And he will do 10 bludgeoning damage and a con save, and then another 10 bludgeoning damage and another con save, please. Oh, wait a second. You're already poisoned because you failed 1 con save. You can't get double poisoned. So I don't think it matters.
All right, so
Yeah,
I
my
took
bad.
20, right? 20 hit points total that I took.
Yeah, you should be what, down 18 hit points total right now?
I'm showing 15 out of 33.
And then we'll take that to Feint.
All right, I'll attack the one that's injured in front of Kansas first with my first attack.
You have advantage.
So 21 either way and then 8 psychic and 13 sneak. So a total of 21.
I think at that point he will look bloodied, and you will see that he actually bleeds blood. It is red blood. I would say, yeah, the sneak attack will do actual physical damage. Or does sneak attack say that it does the same kind of damage as the attack? I
I
don't
think
think
it just adds
Feint
to your.
gets to enjoy seeing damage done.
No, I think they cough up blood and stuff. I think, but the wounds physically on the outside can't be seen. I think that's what it's like, isn't it? Because they're still like imagining the damage being done, so they are like internally bleeding, I guess. But yeah, there's no wounds that you can see on their body at all. So unless he starts bleeding from the wounds already done by Kansas, but yeah, I don't think I'd cause any mark to his skin or anything that would cause blood to come out of it. But I'll hit him again. For 15 to hit for 5.
It has advantage still.
Oh, nice.
But that will hit still another 5. Yeah,
All right, and
effectively, these guys yelling is me telling you they are going reckless.
okay, fair enough, understood. And then I'll say, start black sharding and stuff on him. I reckon. Be careful.
So the one up top is going to do 2 attacks into Feint, and then 1 attack into Kansas. 15 hits your AC, Feint. You're at 16, so 1 on each of you.
Yeah, I'm on 16 AC, so if it's got a bonus to its 15, then
No, it's 10 plus 5 is the 15. It's going to be 6 damage to Feint and a con save, and then 5 damage to Kansas.
sorry, did it hit me then? So it rolled a 10 and then a 15, did it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like
the second one's a
the
20.
10 is the 15 that I
Got
was
it.
asking if that hits your AC. But I knew
Cool.
that the 15 as a 20 hits. And then it will go to Kansas. You are poisoned. You now have disadvantage on your attack rolls.
So sorry, how much damage did it do on me?
6 total.
You did say thank you.
I've got a bunch of inspiration that I've never used. Does that uh, negate one of the disadvantages? Can I do that?
I
You
think
could
that
certainly add it to a roll if you would like.
you take it away from his. So it's Mad Echo saying, can't you use it to take away from his as well? But I think he rolled that high that it wouldn't be worth it, really. I don't think. It's up to you, though.
So that's 2 attacks on the thing that's directly adjacent to me.
You know what? Actually, roll another con save for me, Kansas. It is still the end of your next turn, so you technically would have been good from it by then, but you failed that last hit that sunk on you. So you are still disadvantaged here. But the first one will hit as you slash into its icy flesh, and the second one is just going to bounce off of the ice.
All right, that's it for me.
So this one, yelling and screaming, is going to attack out twice at Feint, and then once at Kansas. The 15 will miss Feint, the 19 will hit Kansas, and it will do another 4 bludgeoning damage for you, Kansas, and another Constitution saving throw. And then it's on faint. DC 13, so that is a success. You are not poisoned this round. You will have normal attacks. Technically, you'll have advantaged attacks. Oh, yeah, so wait. Yeah, it's the same way, because your first attack, it's just a straight attack when you're advantaged and disadvantaged, but the 11 misses. What are you doing, Feint?
So here we go. So I'll attack the one that's now. Oh, well, I don't know that yet. Do I say the one that's attacking Kansas?
The one that's attacking, like in the south, is
Sorry, yes.
clearly bloodied after Kansas's last attack. Like, that's where it goes from mysteriously injured to definitely that guy's fucked up.
Sound. I'll go for him regardless because I want to try and finish him if I can. So, only a 12 to hit, which I imagine will miss, so I'll
No,
attack him
that's
again.
going to be a miss. At this point, you guys now understand the AC that you're shooting for is 13.
Okay, so I'll go again. So yeah, that will hit for a total of 13 damage. Stay healthy, Kansas. Need to go back into a wolf if you're getting low.
This one's going to attack twice into Kansas and then once into Feint. So
Yeah,
Kansas,
that's right.
Kansas, Feint. It's going to hit Kansas again for 7 bludgeoning damage and a Constitution saving throw, Kansas.
All right, I'm unconscious. I should have done something about that before this.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to make a con save if that puts you unconscious. Um, make a death saving throw. One success. This would be an awesome time for me to roll a 1 right there. You guys see as this raging character naked in front of you just stops. And it's as if he's speaking to somebody who's not there, rambling in a language that neither of you speak. And it's going to go to Fate.
Let me just check and see what I have. I've not got any healing potions.
Yeah, I
Got
was
no
going to cast a
modifications.
healing spell on myself, but I was a little slow about that.
I'm surprised you didn't go back into wolf form at any point, but yeah, what you were doing with your scimitars is pretty cool.
Kansas, roll a d20 for me.
Him or me?
You, Kansas.
I've just discovered I do have 1 potion of healing.
All right, word. Do that. Heal your friend.
Yep, so I'll heal Kansas with my potion of healing, which I believe is my action.
Yeah,
Yep, which means I can't bonus attack, I don't think.
that's correct.
Okay, then I'll actually, as I pour the potion into her mouth, I'll go, get back into wolf form, save yourself. And just double checking my bonus action. Nope, nothing. I got nothing I can do. So, I mean, technically I could, uh,
Here, let's go back with the idea that I was already thinking. Um, this is just where it sucks ass when people miss. Even like reducing this fight, it's hard to still balance it when the group dynamic needs everybody kind of thing. Um, let's allow at this point Zaps at 13 initiative can do a cure wounds on Kansas, and Faint, you can have your full action, your full turn.
Nice. Okay, thank you. So I
So
won't burn that.
Kansas, you can take 11 hit points. You are still down on the ground, and that includes now both of your scimitars are dropped on the ground. So you're going to have to look elsewhere than attacking with scimitars in what you're about to do here.
So then I say, thank you, Zaps. Kansas, get into a wolf form quickly. And then I'll attack the one that is the most severely hurt to the south. So like the other one's taken any damage, he hasn't. I'll attack the only one that's hurt. 15 with
15
advantage.
will hit.
That's only fucking 6 sneak attack though, and a low attack. Oh well, 11 damage it is. It is what it is, and I'll bonus attack him as well.
This is looking more. Never mind. Doesn't look any different. Fuck that character.
Shit. And then second for, if it's still advantage, 26 to hit for 7.
And it's going to go to the other one. Is going to attack twice at Kansas. Let's see. I think she's prone at this point.
Yeah, it said she's prone and she drops both of her scimitars.
Yeah, I don't think they're intelligent enough to not actually still go reckless. So he's gonna go 2 into Kansas and 1 into Faint. So the first attack on Kansas, second attack on Kansas will hit, and then an attack on Faint will hit with the 19. So Kansas will take 11 bludgeoning damage and go right back unconscious. And Faint is going to take 5 bludgeoning damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
On me?
Con save from Faint.
Yeah,
Faint, you
failed it.
will be poisoned, which will also mean that you cannot get a sneak attack next turn because you have disadvantage.
This is going well.
So I'm at 0. Am I supposed to be doing a death save?
Yeah, it's going to go back to your turn there. Roll a death save. So that's 1 failed. And then this one is going to do 2 attacks on Faint, and then 1 attack on Kansas. 16 Kansas, that hits.
Sure. Why is it still attacking me? I guess it's better than attacking Faint.
It's not good because that's killing you.
Yeah, rather
That's
a hit.
Kansas dead. They also don't really recognize what you are. These things don't have minds. They're berserkers. Fuck. Yeah.
Well, my next character is a bard.
8 damage to Faint and a Constitution saving throw.
Only a 10, so I failed that.
Yeah, I think it's still applied regardless, though. I guess really that one doesn't matter there. Um, yeah. Let's take a break here.
Sure, okay, no worries.
It's a very, very long break. Kind of like a
It's
whole lifetime. All right.
An eternal break for Kansas.
Well, I don't want this to be the end of Kansas, but I don't. It
I
it
understand.
sucks ass to kill a character on a session where people are not here, let alone to kill a character. Like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel
it's hard
like
to balance
Kansas
as
is
well.
like one of the best characters Jamie has ever played. You feel so at home in that character. I feel like you've like on some level come out of a lot of shells in what Jamie is as a person playing D&D. I feel like Kansas fits you well. I'm just kind of curious like where it's going to go from here. Like, do you, Jamie, have thoughts? Like, have you been enjoying Kansas?
Yeah, I'm still not clear on this whole druid thing. Like backing up. Okay, so I didn't switch back to wolf form because if I have damage as a humanoid, then when I go to 0 in the wolf form, then I go back to the damage form of the humanoid.
And damage transfers too. But the wolf still is some extra hit point.
Yeah. So I guess I should have switched earlier. I looked and all of a sudden, I'd gone from like a fairly healthy 2 digits down to like 5 or something. And I was like, this is bad.
Yeah, plus isn't an action for you to take on an animal form, so you would have basically spent a turn turning into a wolf, probably just to lose the wolf next turn anyway, because these guys got 3 attacks, which has just been absolutely killing us.
Yeah, that was the other part, the 3 attacks. I'm like, this is not going well. Um, the other thing would be I could cast whatever druid saving thing beforehand, or like I don't know, I picture it as like a healing maypole or something that if you're kind of in the vicinity of it, you can get up to 6 hit points a turn back. But all that requires an action and doing it at the beginning. So I didn't do that.
The healing spirit is a dangerous thing to try to cast in combat because you guys also have to run through it. So if anything's even remotely close to you, it's just going to take opportunity attacks on you while you're trying to run through that healing spirit. Healing spirit is kind of an out of combat free healing. Um, you've got a lot of utility spells on that person, and you finally got like your first attack spell. Call lightning in that situation would have been a pretty great thing, but you also would have had to remain out of getting hit. Whereas these creatures are definitely a lot of them in surrounding you all. Um, but that's one of those things where if there's one thing that I think you could do better as a druid is to not go for the specifically caster druid of the circle that you took because you were like never casting spells. The Circle of the Moon druid is for wild shaping, which you wild shaped on a regular basis, but you also were limited to what you could wild shape as because you were Circle of the Land. That's like my observation of you chose a spellcasting circle, but you used wild shape a lot more than you ever cast spells.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I didn't really understand why I had spells, but I got to select more, and then I never used them.
Well, that's what like the Circle of the Land is. It's like druids are very much spellcasters. They're one of the full caster classes. So they're meant to be cast a concentration spell and kind of hold concentration during combat while maybe you'll wild shape, maybe you'll do something else, but effectively druids tend to be holding concentration through combat. um like I've played Circle of the Moon before, and so like a lot of what I would do is like cast something like the Call Lightning, and then I would become a bear and like spend the combat like actually tanking because I was also the tank in that group, but like also tanking because I was a bear. Um, and it basically had I think a little bit more hit points than I had at that same level. Yeah, the size of Call Lightning is part of why it's like, yeah, this entire area you can just call this lightning strikes down on any creature that you want each turn.
Could I do that even as a wolf that can't speak?
Well, effectively, what it is you cast Call Lightning, and then you concentrate on it for 10 minutes. So that's what it is. You can be a wolf. It takes no action economy once you cast it, as long as you're maintaining your concentration. That's still up, and it's basically each turn you just strike down again with it. I don't think it requires any action from you. It's just once you have it, you can just strike each turn with it. Oh no, it is your action. So even as a wolf, it would still take the action to cast the lightning bolt from it, but it's still, I mean, that's a pretty good spell for what the saving throw is.
Okay, it also says if you are outdoors in stormy conditions when you cast a spell, the spell gives you control over the existing storm instead of creating a new one. And under such conditions, the spell's damage increases by 1d10. So I guess that'd be 4d10, possibly?
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things where stormy like a thunderstorm is probably different than like a blizzard,
I
but
agree.
that would be something we would have to kind of decide because I feel like that stormy is talking about a thunderstorm
I
because it
agree.
says you create a storm cloud, and I feel like that's saying like a thunder and lightning. But that's one of those weird things where it's like, yeah, kind of. Um, but it's just kind of hard to decide on that one too. But again, I feel like I don't want to go forward with the idea that this kills Kansas. But perhaps maybe this is an opportunity to decide like, do you actually want to continue with Kansas? Do you want to create a different druid that feels a little bit more in line with the Kansas you've been playing? Because I do feel like epic shit went down, but at the same time, so much of this is like, especially if Dine just kind of missed today, like we're at half strength here. So it's hard. Like, that's why, like, this encounter was something I planned for having. I mean, technically, I rolled for the encounter with 3 people in mind, but 3 people is still a whole lot better than 4 people, especially when Dine is effectively a pretty hardcore tank. That's why I was like, yeah, I got to remove like half of these guys, and it's still a dangerous combat for the 2 of you.
So on that, he hasn't contacted you at all for the past week?
Well, I mean, it's pretty regular for people to not contact me during the week, but to not have any contact today is a no call, no show kind of situation, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If it's a case where like he just doesn't remember it's Tuesdays or whatever, or if he's just out. He seemed to be really, having fun.
Yeah, it's always very hard to predict when people are trying to use this shit for a one shot and when people are actually serious. A lot of people act psyched and then forget about it the next week. It's definitely very weird to try to bring new people in.
Okay, yeah, I think I'd rather either do like a caster druid or an animal shifting druid, like because otherwise, I mean, I'm looking at these spells and they seem kind of cool, but I never get a chance to use them. So, either one way or the other. I like the animals though, and I like the bag of tricks, which doesn't come with the character. It's just kind of that was a special thing that we got. That was cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you like the caster, stick with the class. Like, again, I feel like you kind of fit pretty well with the idea of being a druid. You seem to be happier there than pretty much any of the other characters you've played in the past. Um, so if you're legit with it, I think we can definitely continue on with that idea.
All right, I'm gonna get a drink.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. So I don't know out of you two who can hear me, but I think Kansas has been your best character so far, Jamie, and I think you're learning a lot with him as well with regards to spell casting and stuff. So it's up to you, but I think you're good on Kansas, and I think if there's a way that you can try and keep her, you should.
Well, I can keep the druid character switch like he's saying to the whatever circle of the moon for the replacement.
Oh, wait, I thought you were just saying that you were feeling the caster. Is that what you mean, though? Like, you think you'll switch to Circle of the Moon?
Well, I don't care one way or the other. Either do the caster or do the animal shape. I like the animal shape too. I mean,
Well, I want you to decide, because if you want to stick with, like, this is the more caster centered kind of druid, is the Circle of the Land. If you want to be more wild shape focused, That's Circle of the Moon, but I want you to choose that.
I'll go with Circle of the Moon and do the wild shape.
Do you want to recreate Kansas as Circle of the Moon, or do you want to go and like introduce a new character?
I can recreate Kansas as Circle of the Moon. She can just have like, a giant bash on the head and people get like weird amnesia stuff. I don't know.
Or maybe she's got one of those black Chardolin shards stuck into her, and she wakes up with it in her, brings her life once again, but she doesn't know how or why.
Yeah, the Shardolin does a lot more than that already. So, um, do you know how to edit your circle? If you go into your edit Kansas and go to your class and select Circle of the Moon.
Trying. All right, so now it's got Circle of the Moon.
And as far as the narrative goes, I'd say at that point, we can just go ahead with this idea that when Zaps had to heal you, Helka was preparing to basically roll out with the dogs, and we just have you all fleeing in a retreat where they basically grab up Kansas and you guys just soar out of there.
Sure, sounds good.
Not that I don't always taunt exactly opposite of what you guys choose to do, but that was definitely one of those encounters where I was like, hopefully they run from this one.
How are we supposed to run?
Oh, Faint was all over it. Josh definitely said, like, right off the bat, like, feel like Helka's ready to drive this sled off. I heard you say, like, one thing where it told me, like, you were thinking about, like, how easy it would be for you guys to just avoid this whole thing.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I thought once we were in that position, it was like if we tried to get out of that situation, I didn't know what you do in the counters up top, like they were rounding the dogs or something as well. So I was a bit like, oh, I think we're a bit hemmed in here. So in my mind, I was thinking, hopefully, if we can kill these two, then thematically, because we're a party of two, the DM yourself would find a way for the other three to be discounted, and then we just flee in that regard. But then as soon as Kansas went down, it was like, right, okay, fuck it, we I'm gonna stay and just ride this out.
Yeah, sorry, it didn't occur to me to run off because if you are like, I don't know, if you're in your car asleep at night and then something comes at you, I guess you could see that it makes even less sense. That's a bad analogy.
That makes
Also,
all the
you need
sense.
to respond.
You drive over it. You're in your car.
Right. It's a bad analogy. If you're at a campsite, you can't get to your car. If you're at a campsite and the bear attacks, you have to stab the bear. Then you go to your car.
You guys were sleeping on your car.
Yeah, okay. It was a bad analogy.
I feel like it was a great analogy. It just didn't support your point. That's one of those things, though, that continually, like, I can't ever figure out when you guys are gonna fight and when you're gonna run. Because, like, that one time where you guys, like, finish up the Black Cabin and then you ran from the White Walker, I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, that was your chance.
Ooh, Circle of the Moon. Use wild shape on your turn as a bonus action.
Well, that's like the biggest reason why that's actually like an extremely viable option is because you now become, I'm going to cast Call Lightning and then I'm going to bonus action turn into a bear. So you now have like 40 something extra hit points because you're a bear. You also have a much higher AC and you've used your action to cast a supremely powerful spell in what would have effectively taken the other druid 2 turns. So in
10th level.
general, just what was that?
Now, at 10th level, I can transform into an air elemental or earth or fire or water elemental. That's kind of cool.
We'll never make it to 10th level.
Yeah, okay, but fine. We'll not make it to 10th level. That's true.
Circle of the Moon is extremely powerful.
I had myself ready then. I was going to be a bard, and I got my guitar together and
Oh, is
everything.
that
And
what that was?
the only thing I was going to do is play Wonderwall every time.
That's
And
great.
and I actively just had to learn Wonderwall as well from ultimateguitar.com.
It's almost as if you've got Fate prepared to die for some reason.
Oh, I don't want him to die. He's my joint favorite character with Jape. Definitely, I love him, but I just know that in D&D you've always got to be prepared.
So when you two are ready to push forward here, can I get some survival checks from you?
I just realised with the latency that probably wasn't in time.
I mean, for what it's worth, how low I keep Hydra, it definitely works because you can't really hear it once you're playing it.
It's hilarious.
It's very solemn of us witnessing the rebirth of Kansas and the circle of the moon. The circle of the moon is out. I
I
know.
mean, as far as things go for me as well, this is the way I imagine a lot of things. This is like fucking Avengers level of the multiverse. As far as I'm concerned, Kansas has always been Circle of the Moon. Um, that little difference of basically picking her up and you all like rush off, fleeing from that fight as Helka kind of like gets the dogs moving and you hop on and you're pulling her onto the cart. That's how it played out in that last round. Um, and you guys are effectively in a pretty similar world. That's like the big difference. Um, so that's kind of how I see some of those things happening. And again, like, I don't want to protect characters. Like, you guys are not incapable of dying. But with half the crew, it feels really shitty to have a fight that I was already iffy about trying to find a balance. Like, one of those guys, I feel like would have been a pushover. Two of those guys, I felt like was really dangerous. And I think that kind of showed like the exact problem there. If it was one of those guys attacking as if he was two of them, it probably would have been a pretty sweet fight. Doing one of them, I don't think it would have been anything but wasting your time. Doing two of them, I think, was too much. So we'll just kind of like push forward with it there. With those survival checks, you guys can definitely push off into the night. Um, do you want to try to make for Bremen, or do you all want to try to stop and take a rest somewhere else?
I, I think we should probably try and make it for Bremen. I mean, I know that you can run the risk of exhaustion, but at this point, I think we're best off, especially as we just discovered as a party too. We just keep moving.
Yeah, I don't think it's worthwhile to try and stop again.
Gotcha. So on that note, yeah, let's do another round of survivals from the two of you. This set will be at disadvantage.
All right. Well, I'm injured, and so that's why I rolled a 1. I'm having trouble surviving.
Kansas is playing up all of her wounds. So you all can push off. You'll probably make to Bremen couple hours after the rise of the aurora overhead. Having lost most of that day, you could either make for Cora Mulfoon's and I forgot the name of her inn. And the buried treasures, or you all can kind of like go to one of the taverns and just like spend some time drinking away your worries. What do you all have in mind as you arrive in Bremen, kind of partway into the actual quote unquote daytime with the aurora overhead?
I
Well,
need to heal.
yeah, we could do for rest now. We finally made it after that journey. Helka, what's your plan for flipping its oil?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I mean,
sell this stuff.
realistically, if you're worried about your health, you would have burnt hit dice while you're riding on the actual thing. So use some hit dice to heal yourself.
Jake pulls out a loot and goes, "Today is going to be the day that your hit points come back to you, and you feel invigorated but gain no hit points."
With the idea that you all want to get rid of those barrels, do you want to continue to push forward and cross the river and make your way into kind of Icewind Dale a little bit more proper, crossing the Shenangan?
Yeah. So where did you say she went? Oh, it was yeah, a Kev thing. Yeah, okay, I remember now. So yeah, let's say we've rested up and let's keep moving. Let's just get this done.
Wait. You guys have not rested up. That's my question. Do you all want
Oh,
to
so
rest while you're in Bremen, or do you want to push forward from Bremen?
then yes, I think we should rest here, don't you, Kansas?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep.
So knock off what, like 5 silver apiece. You all can rest off at the buried treasures, and take a long rest here. And you can push off into the night, probably right as the aurora is actually setting. Will be kind of when you all are waking up. but you can head off into the darkness of the next day.
So is that a long rest or not a long rest?
Long rest.
Wish there was a way to make it so that it gave you the 10 temporary hit points every time you long rested. Done.
I seem to have picked up extra hit points by switching over. Oh no, it was because switching over it let me get more constitution. I improved my abilities instead of doing whatever it was I did before. So I have more hit points now.
Oh, you didn't do the magic initiate?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What is your stat line right now?
11, 15, 16, 14, 16, 7.
Excellent. So when you all are prepared to leave Bremen on the 7th of Tarsec, it is effectively evening at this point, and you can head off into the night. There's a little bit of sun. This is kind of like the waxing period where, or not sun, a little bit of moon. This is kind of the waxing period where there's like a half crescent or like a half a moon approaching a full moon here. But you all have a little bit of light and you can cross your way. What kind of path do you all have in mind crossing between Bremen and effectively like towards Targos?
And let me just zoom in because I was viewing that thing from space then. So cross the river and then just follow the orange dotted line, I guess.
Yeah, it looks pretty basic.
Yeah, I want to keep this. But the main point I'm getting at is I don't want to go off piste. I want to try and stick to things. I know we've got the barrels, but we've got them covered. So, um, and if anything happens, we can just ride on again, shooting shit off the back of the sled.
Roll a survival check for me from both of you.
30.
Yeah, with that, you all have a pretty seamless ride. Heading off into Bremen, you all can effectively arrive the morning of the 8th and head off to do your thing. As far as things go, do you all have any interest in getting back on a normal schedule? Do you want to go there and sell your wares right away? What kind of thoughts do you all have?
Well, you got the ultimate role, Jamie. So what are you thinking?
Uh, Normal schedule. When are people usually awake to do business? I mean, this whole timing thing when it's always dark and snowy is weird.
Effectively, still daytime. People do business during the aurora.
Well, we go at the time that makes sense to go, and we find whoever buys oil because we have lots of it.
We do, but we don't want to be out with it unguarded for too long because, as we know, in D&D. There are millions of people just
Stop
waiting to attack us.
thinking like that.
I was
It's
only
fucking
joking.
annoying and it doesn't matter. You guys
Well,
are heroes now.
well, we want to flip it
Nobody
as soon
in
as we can before
nobody
the oil
in
prices
civilized
go
towns are
weird.
going to attack you at this point.
Well, we're speculating in oil futures, and we want to do that before they crash or whatever. And I mean, if there was another band of adventurers selling oil, we don't want the market to change too much.
So you guys can go ahead and push forward to sell your oil. And yeah, if you're just trying to sling it the first day, you all can find buyers. You will get paid your 50 gold a piece from, I guess realistically, it's 150 gold for the party from Helka. And let's see, y'all had.
No, it's an extra 450 gold.
Yeah, but Helka was your partner.
Oh yeah, true.
I think you guys are going to take another like 450. I think you guys can take a total of 600 gold for the party.
Wow, that's a lot.
Cool.
You
So,
want to carry it or what?
well, let's just take 200 each. So, if you want to take 200, I'll take 200, and then I'll hold on to Zaps's 200 for now.
Okay.
And I won't forget you of it.
So much gold.
Well, it's the most flush we've ever been, that's for sure.
I mean, druids shouldn't be attached to like material things like that, though.
Well, the more gold you got, the more plants you can buy and shit.
So much gold.
Think of all the fertilizer you can have now. So let's find a tavern, let's have a drink, and let's celebrate our job well done. So, what was the name of the tavern that was here? Sorry.
Northlook.
All right, said in there.
Let me get 2d20 from you both. I guess never mind. A d20 from each of you.
Nailed it. Welcome back, Jamie.
Oh, I got 19.
Yeah, you got 19, but your character picture
Oh yeah,
disappeared. And
yeah. I decided that the direwolf should not be rolling dice.
So, can you still wild shape now that you're a moon druid instead?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be better.
Oh,
That was the point.
perfect. Oh, so you were the caster and now you're extra animal.
I was split, so now it's more of a animal thing. And the nice part
Got it.
is the changing into animal is a bonus action now.
Oh,
So instead of a separate single action.
amazing. That's perfect. Well done.
But part of why I like this character so much is because of the gray bag of tricks with the pulling the surprise animal out of it. I like that. That's funny.
Yeah, it's fun. But you're definitely the best character to have it because it fits in with you so well.
Yeah, so I think while you all are out at the tavern tonight, you're going to hear a few different tales that people seem to be kind of drunkenly talking about. Some people hearing of a trapper who found a goblin fortress off to kind of like the south beyond Faint's favorite place to visit, Dugan's Hole. And then another group who seems to be talking about um, the speaker of Bryn Shindar looking for adventurers to send on a mission that she has that she's paying quite well for.
That could be interesting. So the speaker's after something here. All right. That could be our next lead then, Kansas.
Yeah, we can always help out where help is needed.
I was thinking more about the gold, but yeah, that too.
Well, they can show their gratitude for the help that we give them.
It's a good way of phrasing it. I like it. How did you used to get gold to survive before we met anyway?
I didn't need it because, I lived off the land and I had those good berries. And really, druids don't need that much. Like, we have wind, we have trees, and we're happy creatures.
What, like just out in the wilderness on your own? What, in 10 towns or somewhere else?
Not here, where it was warmer.
Why, whereabouts? I mean, I'm from Waterdeep. Is it somewhere near there that I'd know?
No, not a big city. Wow, that'd be awful. I don't ever want to go visit a big city like that.
Well, yeah, I didn't mean a city. Like, was it somewhere near there or was it somewhere further away or like what?
More like further away, like due south of here. Couple thousand leagues, maybe, since I don't know how long a league is and how big the relative distance is.
Well, you must have sailed here then if you're measuring things in leagues, which is
There was
also a
like a
unit of depth.
mountain and a bunch of trees on it and
So you,
nature.
so you came from 1,000 leagues under the sea, I see.
Like that, yeah.
You used to live with a series of water breathing apparatus fashioned out of kelp
Well,
deep under
like
the sea.
yeah, like that whole squid thing and whales and all. Didn't
All
the
right.
whale
Well,
had a like a unicorn horn, right? It was a narwhal or something.
It was
well,
swimming with narwhals, but like the boat itself, it was like the prow of it was like fashioned like the horn of a narwhal.
so
Oh,
it
that's
sounds
what
like
it
you had a
was.
yeah, it sounds like you had a pretty sweet life where you were then. So why did you come to this shithole?
Because, dancing around naked under the moon, it gets old after a while.
You thought freezing to death in this death trap was the perfect place to go.
There was some sort of quest somebody told me to go do that I've now forgotten what it was, and or I finished it already. I have a very short memory as a druid, because animals, they don't think that far in the past or the future.
I see. So every time you turn to an animal, it kills some of your brain cells. Well, maybe I've turned into an animal a few times myself.
It's more like a not caring about the same things that people and such care about. As long as we have food, we're basically happy. And then if we see something that wants to hurt us, then we want to kill them. But other than that, our lives are simple.
So you live with other people then, did you? Other gnomes?
Yeah. There was a small enclave of druidic gnomes, and we hung out together, and we learned more about the land and things, and the moon, and the stars, and the trees, and the birds.
Oh, very good. And was that your family or was that just some people you fell in with?
Oh, people I fell in with. My family didn't really go with the druid thing. I had to go find other druids.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, did you discover you had druidic powers, so you went to go and find them, or did you discover the powers or learn them with them, and you didn't have any powers before you met them?
I felt a pull towards the several of the large trees near us, and then I found out that it was the druidic powers calling me.
That's incredible. I mean, that's very impressive. I mean, this is all very strange and alien to me that I don't really understand. Sorry, I've got the music to. I can still hear fine, but I've just got the music box still on default volume settings, so it just really.
Oh yeah, you gotta turn that bot down. That's what I feel like. You might have been away the day that I'd like warned people ahead of time.
Down to 44%. That's manageable.
Oh shit, I think I keep him at like 20 something. Yeah, 25.
Phil Collins.
It's Queen, isn't it? Having a good time.
Now,
Yeah,
now we
yeah,
got
yeah.
Queen.
My bad. I was thinking don't stop me now because I didn't want you to stop Jamie. Like I thought this was fucking awesome.
But yeah, I mean, so well, then how are they doing now? Are they all alive and well, or did you literally just outgrow 'em and decide it was time to leave? I don't. Sounds like it was going pretty well.
There was a plague, and they all died, and then I thought that maybe if I went far, far away, I'd find another group of droids that I could, be comfortable with. I don't wanna go back there. It was so sad. They all died, all my friends.
I immediately pour some ale on my hands from out of my tankard and start washing. I go, "Oh, fucking plague! Are you diseased?"
Oh, I'm very healthy. I've, got all those, I can't say antibodies, but all those, healthy parts of all the various animals that I transform into. It gives me more immunity to various things.
Oh, very good. I mean, do you have any idea where this plague came from? Or what happened and what were the symptoms?
It might have been magical in origin. We can't say for certain.
Holy shit! Do you think that maybe someone, something was after your group, or what? I mean, that sounds like a bit too much of a coincidence that just suddenly they'd be wiped out by a plague.
Yeah, see, we thought that all the sheep should be free, but the human farmers didn't agree with us. So I think that they went to get help from some human wizard type people, and those people cast a plague upon us.
That's some serious shit. I mean, do you know what kind of magic could have been used or who these people were? Surely you'd want vengeance for that, right?
Oh, I already had my vengeance on them. We went and we burned down their tower.
Oh, that's ice cold. I like it. I mean, so what? That was you and your druid friends before they passed away, or was that you and somebody else and the druids had already died?
Well, there was one other druid besides me that was still alive, and then she and I went and burned down the tower. But as the tower was collapsing, the big rocks fell on top of her, and she died also. So then there was just me, and there was nothing for me to stay behind to live for. And I thought, well, a new environment would be good. So I came north, far, far north.
Well, I mean, that's pretty. I mean, at least you got your vengeance. But did you even kill the magical person? Yeah.
Yeah, that he went down with the burning tower.
Did you see his corpse?
Yes, and I heard the death screams.
I don't know. These magical folk are pretty sneaky. I mean, from what I've seen of them, and from what I've read in this book anyway, is for all I know, is that unless you home drawn and quartered that bastard, you could be still knocking around somewhere somehow. I'd be careful if I were you. But don't worry, you got us, your friends. And I slap Zap on his shoulder, even though he's not here. And we'll fight him together no matter what happens, eh? And I guarantee that if we ever see him again, and we kill him, I'll hung, draw, and quarter him myself.
It's been nice exploring all the tourist sites up here and seeing all the fun activities that we do.
Yeah, it's been nice too, but I'll be honest with you, it's just been nice having a friend like yourself, Kansas. I mean, we've been through a lot together, and I don't really have a lot of friends, so I really appreciate it all the same. Just take a big swig of my ale and just gesture over for another ale. I have to say, Kansas, you've already drank like 10 pints of these ales. You must be pissed by now.
I must say it does make me feel much, much better. I don't quite recall that I was injured last time mortally.
Well, from what I've experienced in all of my many years on this plane, is that drinking gets rid of all of your problems with no consequences, and it is the most responsible way to deal with any kind of grief or trouble.
Well, I'm glad I will use your experience and learn a lesson from it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I was sold into slavery and all that, well, you know how that went. But yeah, the slavers family, they seem to like a nice drink and sort of picked it up from them. And since then, I've realised that's how I solve all my problems. Well, all I know now is that we're more rich than I've ever been before. So we've got another quest to pick up tomorrow, and we'll keep an ear out for this evil wizard plague bastard that you spoke of. And we'll see what we can find out. But I'm sure he is dead. I wouldn't worry too much. Don't lose any sleep over it. But if he's not, then yeah, we'll
Oh,
make
he's
sure that
dead. He's definitely dead.
I mean, you heard the screams and shit. That's great. But I mean, these magical people, pretty fucked up.
I take your point, but he's definitely dead.
Well, as long as you're sure, I won't double guess.
I feel like there was a moment there where Jamie was done, and that's when everybody started to die from all of her stories.
Yeah, that's when the backstory ended. So therefore, everyone died.
Sorry, I couldn't come up with a better way, like a reason to leave my idyllic, um, forest home besides plague.
She's like, Josh, if you keep asking these questions, I'm gonna write fate into my backstory, and he's gonna die too, motherfucker.
It's great.
Like all of this creative improv, and then just everybody died. What about this? They died. And then there was this other, they died.
That was good though, Jamie. You did great. I mean, I've been trying to get something out of Kansas for a while because I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me that just like a druid would just wander up to us out of the snow and be like, "I was hatched from an egg 5 minutes ago, and I'm with you now." So I love the lore, the
Well, none
character
of this
development.
stuff makes any sense.
It does in the world of D&D.
And she also hates snow too. She hates the cold and she hates knucklehead trout.
It's coarse. I hate the way it feels. It gets everywhere.
It's cold.
I got
Yeah,
it.
that makes yeah. It was an Anakin Skywalker reference for you, Jamie, because Josh and lightsabers and stuff. So just give
What?
me a second. I'm just writing down all my notes from Kansas's lore because I've got it locked in now.
It's one of the like most memed moments in all of Star Wars, where Anakin's like bitching about sand.
Oh, okay.
This is how I romance a woman. I talk about sand getting in cracks.
Yeah, that'll work.
It's like the funniest thing about it is literally out of the blue. There's no reason for him to bring it up in conversation. He just suddenly turns to the woman he loves and goes, "I hate sand."
They're having
It's
like a
hilarious.
romantic picnic, and he's like, I fucking hate sand so much.
It's so bizarre. It really is. Well, it's brilliant. So
I,
you
I
when you
can't
just to
wait to
recap.
bring I can't
Oh,
wait to bring that wizard back in.
oh, it's gonna happen. I can tell. I mean, I'm okay with it if we abandon the book at this point and we just do Jamie's character arc for the next 12 to 14 weeks. Just think about all the character building and like party leading you'd have to do, Jamie. It's going to be amazing.
The one thing that I was hoping to have you actually riff into it, Jamie, was to tie in the actual orcs.
Forgot about the orcs.
Well, what's the orc?
I don't know. I got an orc stone though.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Any story that would have attached orcs to like you kind of stopping that wizard would have been fucking awesome.
So just for my notes, it was to stop the humans from killing sheep. Yeah.
No, the humans thought the sheep should belong to them, but the druids want the sheep to be free and not to belong to humans. Like the ranchers want the free roaming of the creatures, and the farmers want to have their little sections of land carved off so only the cows can eat from that area.
And you killed how many humans to free the sheep?
I lost count, but I made sure the wizard was dead.
Kansas just got so fucking dark.
It's incredible. So just to confirm, my next note is titled Kansas Law, and it's Kansas was a druid 1,000 leagues to the south, where she lived with a circle of druids she went to live with after she discovered she had druidic powers. But then a plague killed everyone in the circle after they protested to some humans to stop them from owning sheep, which she thought should be free. In revenge, they went to a magic person, who then put said plague on them. Whilst they were dying of plague, with their dying breaths, they went to kill all the humans and the magic man in the tower, who she is, in capital letters, sure is dead. So that's right, Jamie. Yeah?
Yeah. I still don't know how long a league is or like relative geography here.
Well, it's a unit of depth, so it's certainly not a unit of distance.
Oh, I thought it was
I
distance.
I feel like league was used in medieval, and I feel like it's vaguely 1,000 days travel. Basically, I think a league is a day's travel.
I'm pretty sure it's a distance measure. It's like the 7 league boots. Isn't that like one of those um Jack and the Beanstalk type things?
Yeah, it says 2.4 to 4 point statute miles, or 4 to 7.5 kilometers.
There's not a standard distance? That's weird.
Well, it's an ancient measure, though. It's not something that's like in that like standard time. It's Celtic and Roman. Roughly the distance a person could walk in a day.
Oh, okay. So
Bam.
1 league is the distance you can walk in a day.
Oh wait, no, it's not in a day. When I actually click the link, it's in an hour.
It's not one of our D&D sessions until we've had a discussion about units of measurement.
Oh, dude, there was something that I had set up here Oh, I know what it was. And I like had to get the conversion out because I was like, all right, 1 ounce is approximately, I already deleted it because you guys like missed that like moment. I was like, 1 ounce is approximately like 30 milliliters, and 1 ounce can cover a 1 foot square, which is approximately 25 centimeters squared. And I had all this like noted down because it was like, I keep thinking like there's got to be like European versions of D&D that are actually in the metric system. And then I remember, no, no, no. They just stick their middle finger up and like, yeah, fuck Europe. We're not going to spend 5 minutes doing a conversion table that would solve all of these problems.
To be fair, fuck Europe. What a nonsensical place that is. Plagues and wars and all kinds of shit, man. That place is fucked up.
On second thought, that's really just a silly place.
Where the lights have come on.
Yeah, I butchered the quote, but so when I throw out the rumors that y'all kind of pick up in the tavern, if you all look at those notes, does it appeal to you that the next thing that you will actually do is to seek out the speaker of Brinshendar?
Let me just check.
I mean, inside of the notes, there's definitely spoilers for what I told you hear. That it's like more information is technically in there, but
I won't check on them because I didn't find them yet, and I won't. I'll just say
Where are we looking?
absolutely.
inside of the journal in the handouts under party notes is kind of like the stuff that you guys are vaguely still like moving forward with. Um, but the bottom one is effectively why the speaker is looking for people. And that's what you all know at this point. It's meta knowledge for you all to know what's actually like the quote that's in there, but I don't think it's like terribly much. It's just more than you know right now.
In Bremen, fishers are being terrorized by a monster. That one?
No, no, no. Search and explore and investigate the Icewind Dale. You guys now have 7 of those quests. And it's I keep telling everybody is how it starts off. But again, effectively, that what you all know right now is that the speaker of Bryn Shindar is looking for adventures.
Got it. So I will. I don't want to progress that until Zaps is here. So what I will suggest then for the rest of the session is that we go and see what's his face, the wizard in the tower here in Bryn Shindar instead, because I got a goddamn slarty egg inside of me.
You do?
Yeah, if you're actually going to approach solving that fate, that is actually an extremely easy problem to solve.
Yeah, we kill
Exactly.
you.
No, no,
Yeah.
it's very simple. It's a lesser restoration. There was a point where Justin almost did it to you just randomly, and I had to confirm with him that he did not actually touch you and cast lesser restoration. Because he knew about the slotty egg and he was tempted to do it, but that's all it would have taken to cure you. So if you're going to go through the effort of actually like trying to find somebody, you can go to the wizard. The wizard Akalos is going to eventually send you on the way to find a cleric, which is effectively you all search out the House of the Morning Lord. But in the long run, yeah, that's a very simple problem for you to solve.
Let's do that then. Let's get this. Let's cut this bitch out of it.
Nah, I don't even think they have to do anything for it. I think it's just lesser restoration. I don't even think they have components that they have to expend to do.
Fantastic.
I just picture this parasitic egg, like a really large egg.
I now worship the Morning Lord.
How long did you let it go for? Because that was one of the
Oh,
things that I was actually preparing for today. Because there's specific parts in the adventure where it's like, if somebody has the slod, their chest bursts open and the person dies. There's like 3 or 4 places in the actual book where it says like this is a great place to kill the person with the slot inside of him. And I was just like, dude, Josh is really letting that go on and on. Wonder how long he's gonna stretch that for if they're gonna get to like this, and this part.
Well, what I was waiting for, and it was probably going to be like 2 sessions ish after we lost Justin, is I was waiting for like an appropriate moment to confide in him that that was the problem, or confide in the party that that was my problem, and then to ask for his help. Um, but the whole reason why I wasn't just being like, "Hey guys, I'm faint. By the way, I got a slardy egg at me. Can anyone do something about this?" It was because it was more like um, Faint still didn't really trust anyone in knowing about it because he didn't want to just get murdered outright to stop the Slardy egg from hatching. He wanted to make sure he knew it was somebody who was capable of doing it, who would also actually help him rather than just gut him.
So, did you pick this up in Waterdeep?
I think the idea was yes, it was from Waterdeep from what we talked about.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, like on some level, this is the same world where Waterdeep was overrun by Slotty, and that's how Faint acquired that.
Faint, who has a great relationship with his parents, by the way, just to go against the trope of all rogues having parent issues.
I didn't
I
know
mean,
rogues had parents.
Exactly.